The Golden Edge crew here at T-Mobile Arena, where the Golden Knights returned home from their longest road trip of the season and broke out with a great performance and a 4-1 win over the Buffalo Sabres. Big night. Jonathan Marchessault gets 2 goals. The power play finally gets off the schneid, gets their first goal of the season after 16 failed attempts earlier in the year. A really, really solid all-around performance for the Golden Knights. You heard it from the players. You heard it from Gerard Gallant. Everybody's pretty happy with this performance. And, Dave, it's the kind of performance that you were waiting to see from the Golden Knights.
Yeah, maybe other than the Minnesota game where they weren't able to kind of produce, this is by far the closest thing to 60-minute complete effort. Another great effort, too, from Marc-Andre Fleury. He had 26 saves. I don't think they were the spectacular saves, maybe like they were in Philly. But, after the first few games when, some people wanted to jump on him, give him a little of the blame for the slow start, things like that, I think he's obviously, responded. We can get into the whole thing of, how much help he was getting beforehand. But clearly the last, 120 minutes plus, he's been outstanding.
And 2 total goals allowed in 3 wins for Marc-Andre Fleury, who also recorded a milestone tonight.
Yeah, win number 407, tying Glenn Hall for 10th all-time. So, he keeps climbing, and I'm sure, as long as they're good, he's going to, have another chance to surpass some more guys and things like that. It was something, he kind of mentioned, it's nice to be, in that company, with those guys. But I think he's got bigger goals and things like that. 10th all-time is probably not, first thing on his mind. But like you said, nice to be in that company.
Good performance by him, but it didn't have to be great because, as we said, the team actually played much better around him, didn't give up a lot of those high danger chances in front of the net. The one disappointing thing, I guess, for Fleury, and I'm sure he was upset, no donuts for the fans. Yeah. The last minute of the game with the extra attacker, Buffalo gets off the schneid, gets their first goal of the game, and the first and only goal keeps the fans from the donuts. So maybe some people at Krispy Kreme happy that they don't have to dole out all those free donuts tomorrow, but fans disappointed as they leave a little bit, but had to be pleased with the victory, and they had to be pleased that William Karlsson got his first goal of the year. Now, last year, 6 games without a goal, goes on to 43 after he scored his first goal in Game 7. This year, no goals in the first 6 games, gets his first in the 7th. Now he's going to go on to 43 for sure, right?
Yeah, well, he said after the game, just 42 more, right? And it was Coach Gerard Gallant at the podium, too, was like, hey, now he's got that first one out of the way. The other 42 should come easy. But obviously a good performance by him tonight. He's been playing well. He picked up his 5th assist in this game, too, and then finally got his first goal off a nice deflection there. So eventually that was going to come for Karlsson. You had to feel he's been playing a good 2-way game, been solid defensively. And so, talking just some of his teammates in the locker room, they were all happy to kind of see him finally get on the score sheet with a goal.
Yeah, and I think the special teams were key tonight. Certainly the power play gets off the schneid, as we said. They get their first goal of the year. The penalty kill, fantastic, 6 kills. Didn't allow Buffalo to get a power play goal. A lot of penalties, but they prevented them from capitalizing on that. Gerard Gallant's certainly happy with that, and I think it served as a springboard to the rest of the game. So, Dave, Game 1 down, 4 more games on the homestand. What do the Golden Knights have to do to keep that going?
I guess keep hitting the ketchup bottle, right? Once you get that ketchup out, everything opens up. I think, build off this. It's 2 wins in a row. Obviously, Fleury's playing well. They seem like they're starting to get, a little bit of chemistry, a little bit more in terms of their game and playing the way they want to. Obviously, Anaheim's first place right now in the Pacific Division, so that'll be a tough matchup. But at home, they talked today about, like you said, using this as a springboard, trying to build off this, use this as a 5-game homestand and get some momentum going forward. So, the Anaheim game will be tough, but, obviously there's some other games on the homestand, down the road too, that'll be big as well.
Well, Vancouver, we thought on the schedule looked like a very winnable game, but all of a sudden they have 3 straight road wins, look a lot better than people thought. Ben, cheap plug for our podcast. Make sure you go check that out. And we said 6.5 points. That's the goal. Get at least 6.5. Get over that on this homestand. After the first game, got to be looking good for that.
Yeah, well, obviously they pick up 2 tonight, so just 4.5 the rest of the way.
There you go.
So we'll see what happens. As I said, Vancouver is looking a little bit tougher. Tampa Bay is coming in. Tampa Bay is my pick to win the Stanley Cup this year. At least it was in the preseason. They're a very tough team. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can squeeze us out. As you mentioned, big game against the Anaheim Ducks, but they're still, after the 2 points tonight, on pace to do well this homestand, I think.
There you go. So check out our podcast. Check out our mailbag videos. Check out our videos from here after games. And all of the coverage all throughout the week at reviewjournal.com. For Dave Schoen, Ben Gotz, Adam Hill, We'll talk to you guys again Saturday night from here at T-Mobile Arena when the Golden Knights host the Pacific Division leading Anaheim Ducks.